Chosen one, I need to tell you something about the money that has not arrived yet. It is not lost. It was never lost. The provision you have been waiting for, the breakthrough you have been praying for in the quiet hours when no one else could hear, it has been flowing toward you this entire time. But something was in the way. Not a curse, not punishment, not unworthiness. What stood between you and your provision was never a closed door. It was a redirected river. God has been rerouting your finances through channels that the world cannot see and the enemy cannot touch. And right now, in this moment, the rerouting is reaching completion. You were brought to this message not by chance, but by the same hand that has been guiding your provision through the darkness. And here is the truth that will change everything you thought you knew. In the economy of heaven, money does not follow effort, it follows assignment. And your assignment has just entered a new phase. Over the course of this message, I am going to reveal 3 hidden truths about why your provision was delayed, what God has been assembling in secret, and the single shift in your mind that will allow everything that has been circling your life to finally land. Stay with me, because this is the moment your financial wilderness begins to end. Let this message settle into you in stillness. Wherever you are right now, let this be sacred ground. I want to be very clear about what you are going to receive if you stay until the very end. First, I am going to show you the specific reason your provision was delayed, and it is not what you think. Second, I am going to reveal a word hidden in the original Hebrew text that will completely change how you understand every promise God has ever made about your finances. Third, I am going to give you a practical framework you can use starting tonight to align yourself with what heaven is releasing. And at the very end, I am going to speak a declaration and activation over your financial life that I believe will stay with you long after you leave this space. This is not a message you want to leave halfway through. Everything builds, and the most powerful moment is at the end. Now picture a river, a wide, powerful, unstoppable river that has been flowing toward you since before you were born. This river carries your provision, your breakthrough, your overflow. But somewhere along the way, something built a dam, not to punish you, not to starve you, but to store what was coming until you were ready to hold it. Today we are going to discover what that dam was made of and why it is breaking. If your spirit just confirmed that you were brought here for a reason, if something in you knows this message was placed in your path on purpose, type the words, "I am here," in the comments right now. Let that be your first step into what God is about to do. And the first truth is one that most people in financial hardship never get told. I want you to think about a night. Maybe it was recent, maybe it was months ago. You were sitting alone, maybe at your kitchen table, maybe on the edge of your bed, with your phone in your hand. The screen showed your bank balance, and the numbers staring back at you did not match the faith in your heart. Your chest was tight, your jaw was clenched, and somewhere behind your eyes, a pressure was building that had nothing to do with the bills and everything to do with the question you were afraid to ask out loud. God, why is this taking so long? Every time you checked your account and felt that wave of shame roll through your body like a tide you could not stop. Every time someone asked how you were doing and you said, "I am fine," because the real answer was too heavy to carry in a casual conversation. Every time you watched someone else celebrate a financial blessing and you smiled on the outside while something deep inside you whispered, "When is it my turn?" Every time you sat with a calculator trying to decide which bill to pay this month, knowing there was not enough for both. Every time you prayed about your finances and the silence that followed felt louder than the prayer itself. I see you. God sees you. And what I need you to understand right now is that every single one of those moments was accounted for. Not one was wasted. Not one was ignored. That weight you carried was never a sign that you failed. It was never evidence that God looked away. The delay in your provision was never denial. It was preparation. And here is what most people miss. The size of the preparation has always been proportional to the size of what is coming. Let me show you what I mean. Think about Joseph. Here was a young man who received a dream from God at 17 years old, a dream of elevation, a dream of provision beyond anything his family had ever known. And what happened next? His own brothers threw him into a pit. He was sold as property. He was falsely accused by someone he served faithfully, and he was forgotten in a prison cell for years while the world moved on without him. 13 years passed between the dream and the throne. 13 years where it looked like God had abandoned the plan, but not a single promise was cancelled during those 13 years. Every month in Potiphar's house was building administrative skill that a shepherd boy could never have learned in the fields. Every season in the prison was forging a resilience and discernment that comfort could never produce. Every year of waiting was adding a capacity that the palace would eventually demand. Joseph was not being punished, he was being positioned. And the delay was not a detour from his provision. It was the direct route to a provision so large that it would feed an entire nation during a famine no one saw coming. Your financial waiting season works the same way. The longer the preparation, the larger the provision. Not because God is slow, because what He stored for you requires a version of you that only the wilderness could build. Now let me give you something practical, something you can use starting tonight. I call this the provision audit. There are 4 types of provision that are already moving in your life right now, and most people only watch for one of them. The first is unexpected contact. Someone reaching out to you, someone mentioning your name in a room you have never entered, a conversation that lands in your lap without you initiating it. This is not random. This is heaven positioning connections around your next season. The second is clarity, downloads. Ideas arriving in your mind with unusual sharpness, especially at odd hours. Solutions you did not labor for. Insights that seem to come from nowhere. These are not just thoughts, chosen one. These are blueprints from the architect of your provision. The third is small, unexpected resources. A discount you did not ask for. A gift that showed up at exactly the right moment. A bill that was suddenly reduced or waived. These are not coincidences. These are the first drops of rain before the flood. They are advanced scouts telling you the full provision is close behind. And the fourth is closed doors that saved you. Opportunities that fell through, that looking back would have trapped you in something smaller than what God prepared. Paths that were blocked because they led to a lesser version of your future. The blessing of the door that did not open is still a blessing. If you recognize even one of these 4 types showing up in your recent life, I need you to hear me clearly. Your rerouting has already begun. Now this truth alone, that the delay was preparation and not punishment, that every empty month was building capacity for what is coming, would be enough to shift how you see your entire financial history. Every late payment, every sleepless night, every unanswered prayer, all of it reframed. But, chosen one, this is only the first truth, and the second one goes much, much deeper. If something just shifted in your understanding, if you suddenly see your waiting differently than you did 10 minutes ago, type the words, "I see it now," in the comments. Seal that shift in your spirit before we move forward. I promised to show you why the money was late. Now you see. It was never late. It was being prepared in proportion to your assignment. The longer you waited, the deeper the reservoir. But here is what almost no one understands about the kind of provision God has been assembling behind the scenes. There is a word hidden in the original Hebrew text that most translations completely miss. And when you hear it, your understanding of divine provision will never be the same. Remember what I told you, that the delay was preparation? Now, let me show you what was being prepared. Think about the river I described earlier. When the dam went up, the river did not stop flowing. The water did not disappear. The dam stored it. And every single month that felt empty on your end, the pressure behind that dam was building. The reservoir was deepening. The volume was growing heavier and heavier and heavier. Because God does not send provision in a trickle when He has been building a reservoir. And this brings me to the hidden word I mentioned. In the original Hebrew language, there is a word that most English translations reduce to something simple, like provide or store up. But the actual word is safan, and safan does not mean what you have been taught. Safan means to hide something precious in a secret place, to treasure it, to guard it, in a location where no enemy can access it, no thief can find it, and no circumstance on earth can reach it. When Scripture speaks about what God has set aside for your life, this is the word it uses, safan. God has been safaning your provision. He has been hiding it, treasuring it, locking it away in a vault with your name written across the door. And that vault has been growing fuller with every single month you thought heaven was silent. Let me give you an image so you never forget this. Imagine a parent who knows that one day their child will face something enormous, something that requires everything. So the parent begins saving in secret. Years pass, the child sees nothing. The child looks at other families and wonders why they seem to have more. The child cries out at night, "Why am I the one who goes without?" But the parent is not cruel. The parent is not neglectful. The parent knows something the child does not. What is coming for the child cannot be given in small pieces. It has to be released all at once, at the right time, in the right season. When the child has the maturity to steward it, that is safan. That is what God has been doing with your finances this entire time. Every month that felt dry on your side was a month of deposits being made on heaven's side. The account you could not see has been growing. And right now, in this season, it is fuller than it has ever been. Now, I need to show you something else that most people never learn. Because provision does not arrive through one single channel. God reroutes provision through 3 channels, and most chosen ones spend their entire lives staring at only one of them. The first channel is direct provision. This is what everyone watches for. Money appearing in your account that you did not expect, a raise, a gift, an inheritance, a check in the mail. Something tangible and immediate that you can hold in your hands. And yes, this channel is real, and it is absolutely part of what is coming for you. But here is what you need to understand. Direct provision is actually the smallest of the 3 channels, and it was being stored for you. The second channel is opportunity provision. This is when God does not hand you money, but hands you the ability to create it. The door opens to a position you never applied for. A skill you forgot you had suddenly becomes the exact thing someone is willing to pay for. An idea drops into your mind at 2 in the morning, fully formed, ready to be built. God does not always fill your account. Sometimes He fills your capacity, and that capacity was being stored for you. The third channel is the one almost nobody talks about: protection provision. This is the bill you never had to pay because a disaster was quietly diverted before it reached your door. The expense that vanished because someone stepped in at exactly the right moment without you asking. The financial catastrophe that was heading straight for your life, but was rerouted by an invisible hand before it could land. Sometimes, the greatest provision is not what comes into your life. It is what was stopped from leaving it. And that protection was being stored for you. When you add all three channels together, the total provision moving toward your life right now is far greater than any single number in a bank account could capture. Before I show you what comes next, I want to ask you to gently press the like button, not for me, so that this message can reach another chosen one who is sitting alone tonight, staring at their phone, wondering if God forgot about their provision. Your single action could be the bridge between their despair and their breakthrough. Let your light carry this light a little further into the darkness. Now, let me show you something that surprised even me when I first encountered it. There is a neuroscientist, a man who spent 34 years studying how the human brain processes reality. His name is Dr. Robert Lake, and what he discovered connects directly to everything we have been talking about. Dr. Lake's research, which expanded into an entire system of brain restoration, including what he calls the youthful brain and other advanced protocols, revealed something that I believe every chosen one needs to hear. Your brain operates at different frequencies throughout the day. And when your brain has been stuck in survival mode for months or years, which scientists call chronic beta frequency, something devastating happens beneath the surface. Your brain begins filtering out opportunity. It filters out creative solutions. It filters out the very provision that God has placed directly in your path. Think about that for a moment. It is as if God opened a door right in front of you, and your brain, locked in survival frequency, made that door completely invisible. But there is another frequency, a higher one. Scientists call it gamma. And when your brain operates in gamma, everything shifts, intuition sharpens, mental fog dissolves, ideas arrive fully formed. Connections appear that you could not see before. Doors that were invisible suddenly become obvious. We will come back to this, but hold it in your spirit, because this is the critical bridge between the spiritual provision God is releasing and your ability to actually perceive it and receive it. And I hear the Father saying over your life right now, "My child, I was not withholding from you. I was storing for you. Every tear you shed over an empty account was seen. Every prayer you whispered when the house was dark and everyone else was sleeping was heard. Not a single one hit the ceiling and fell back down, and what I have stored is more than what was taken from you. I did not keep it to test how much you could endure. I kept it from the hands of the enemy who would have stolen it before you were ready to guard it. You are ready now, and the vault is open." If this were the end, if all you walked away with was this single truth, that God was not withholding but storing, that Safan was happening behind every silent month and every empty prayer, it would be enough to transform how you see your entire financial history. But, chosen one, this is not the end. And the third truth goes to the root of something that determines whether the stored provision arrives in your life or whether it keeps circling without ever landing. I promise to show you what God has been assembling in secret. Now, you see, Safan, a hidden treasury with your name written across it, built in silence, grown in darkness, and now ready to overflow. If you receive that word, if something in your spirit just confirmed what the Father spoke over you, type, "I receive," right now. Do not let that moment pass through you without marking it. But here is what I have not told you yet. And this might be the most uncomfortable truth in this entire message, because what is about to be revealed is not about God's action, it is about yours. The provision that is being rerouted toward your life is not only about money, it is about identity. And there is one thing, one single thing, standing between you and everything God has stored. And most chosen ones have no idea it is even there. Take a breath before we go further. because what I am about to say is the part most people are not ready for. This is the truth I warned you about, and it does not point at God. It does not point at the enemy. It points at something much closer. Here it is. God can reroute every dollar in the universe toward your life. He can open channels that have never existed before. He can pour out safan, overflow, abundance beyond anything you have imagined. But if your mind is still carrying the identity of someone who does not deserve to receive it, the provision will circle your life and never land. The biggest blockage to your financial breakthrough is not external. It is the old identity sitting in the seat where your new identity is supposed to be. Think about the river again. God has redirected the entire river. The dam is breaking. The water is surging toward you with more force than ever before. But the riverbed, the channel that receives the water, that riverbed is you, your identity, your belief about what you are allowed to have. And right now, for many of you listening, that riverbed is too narrow, not because you are weak, because you were taught to be small. There is a voice inside you. Maybe you hear it when something good happens, when someone offers you something generous, when an unexpected check arrives and, instead of gratitude, the first feeling that floods your chest is suspicion. That voice whispers things like, "This is too good. Something will go wrong. People like me do not get to keep this. I do not deserve this kind of blessing." Where did that voice come from? It was built in you, piece by piece, year by year, starting when you were too young to question it. Every time you heard, "Money does not grow on trees." Every time you watched your parents argue over bills behind a closed door that was not as soundproof as they thought it was. Every time the world showed you that wealth was for other kinds of people. People with different last names, different zip codes, different skin, different luck. A belief was being planted deep in your nervous system. A belief that said, "I am not the kind of person who has enough." And that belief has been running your financial life ever since, quietly, beneath every decision, every prayer, every opportunity that you talked yourself out of before it had a chance to land. Neuroscientists have a name for what happened to you. They call it the decline effect. When you were a child, your brain operated at its highest frequencies. Naturally, you learned without effort. You imagined without limits. You received without guilt. There was no voice telling you that joy had a cost or that abundance was suspicious. Your brain was wide open. And then the world began to close it. Education systems trained you to think inside boundaries. Stress pushed your brain into survival mode. Fear became your default setting. And the frequencies where confidence lives, where creativity flows, where your capacity to receive is strongest, those frequencies were systematically turned down, year after year, until you forgot they were ever there. And here is the part that hurts. Because you are a chosen one, because your frequencies were naturally higher than most people around you, you felt the loss deeper. That gap between who you were as a child, wide open and fearless, and who you have been forced to become, guarded and small, and always bracing for the next blow. That gap is wider for you than for anyone else. And that is why the financial struggle has felt so personal. Because it is personal. It was targeted. But here is what the enemy did not count on. This is the moment the old identity begins to die. I want to speak something directly over your life right now. Not as information, as permission. You are allowed to receive without guilt. You are allowed to prosper without apologizing to anyone for it. You are allowed to have more than enough and not feel shame for the overflow. You are allowed to believe that God's provision has your name carved into it. You are allowed to hold wealth in your hands without the fear that it will be ripped away the moment you relax. And you do not owe a single person on this earth an explanation for the abundance that is about to enter your life. You went in believing you were overlooked, and you are coming out knowing you were hidden for protection. You went in thinking your poverty was permanent, and you are coming out understanding it was preparation. You went in ashamed of what you lacked, and you are coming out grateful for what it built. You went in afraid of abundance, and you are coming out ready to steward it. You went in carrying an identity that was too small for your assignment, and you are coming out as the person God has been building all along. Let me tell you about Ruth. Here was a woman who had lost everything. Her husband was dead. Her homeland was behind her. She was a foreigner in a country that did not welcome her. She had no money, no connections, no resume, no reason to believe that provision would ever find her. And what did she do? She made a declaration. She said, "Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God." That was not a prayer request. That was an identity shift. She did not ask for provision. She declared who she was, and the moment her identity shifted, her entire financial reality shifted with it. Within a single season, Ruth went from gleaning leftover grain at the edges of a field she did not own to becoming the owner of that field, not because she worked harder than anyone else, because her identity expanded and provision rushed to fill the new capacity. Your Ruth moment is right now. The identity shift that is happening inside you as you listen to these words is the expansion that provision has been waiting for. Now, let me give you something you can carry with you. I call this the overflow protocol. It has 3 steps, and you can begin tonight. The first step is to name the old identity out loud. In your own words, wherever you are right now, say it silently in your mind, or whisper it under your breath. I used to believe I was not worthy of abundance. Name it. Acknowledge that it was there, because what you refuse to name keeps its power over you. The second step is to declare the new identity. Say this in your spirit. I am a chosen one whose provision has been stored by God Himself, and it is arriving now. Not one day, not someday, now. And the third step is this. The next time a small provision arrives in your life, no matter how small, a discount, a gift, an unexpected kindness, receive it with your full attention. Do not dismiss it as nothing. Do not say, "Oh, it was just luck." Receive it as what it truly is. The first wave of the flood. Say thank you, as if it were $1 million. Because that is how you train your spirit, your mind, and your nervous system to stay open when the larger provision arrives. This is not about thinking positively. This is about matching your inner frequency to the frequency of what God is sending. If you just felt something release, if an old belief about money just loosened its grip somewhere deep in your chest, type "I release" in the comments. Do not hold on to what God is pulling away from you. Let it go. And here is where the science becomes extraordinary. Remember what I told you earlier about brain frequencies and the neuroscientist who spent 34 years studying how the mind receives? There is a specific frequency called gamma that researchers at MIT, Princeton, and several other leading universities have connected to states of intuition, flow, and what some call miraculous cognition. When your brain operates in gamma, your ability to perceive provision, to receive insight, and to act on divine timing multiplies in ways that survival frequency could never allow. I am going to show you exactly what this means in the next part of this message, including a tool that takes 7 minutes a day and does something to your brain that years of meditation and effort cannot. But first, the final revelation, the one that ties everything together, and chosen one. It is the biggest truth I will share in this entire message. And before this message ends, I am going to speak something over your financial life, a declaration and an activation that I believe will stay with you and work in your spirit long after you close this message. Stay with me for that. Do not leave before the end. Everything I have shown you so far, that the delay was preparation, that the provision was being stored in secret, that your identity determines your capacity to hold it. All three of these truths are about to converge in a single revelation that changes everything. And I need your full attention for what comes next. When a chosen one's identity fully expands and their brain frequency aligns with the frequency of heaven's economy, what happens next has no earthly explanation, and I am about to show you exactly what that looks like. Here it is, the truth beneath all three truths, the revelation that makes everything snap into place. The delay was preparation. The silence was accumulation. Your identity has been expanding this entire time. Your frequency is being restored. And right now, the rerouting is reaching completion. Provision is not approaching. Provision is arriving. Let me show you what I mean with a word from the original Greek text. In the book of Ephesians, chapter 3, verse 20, there is a promise that most people, quote, without understanding the weight of the original language. The English translation says something like, more than you could ask or imagine, but the Greek word used there is periseo, and periseo does not mean a little more than expected. Periseo means to overflow, to exceed all measure, to spill over every container you set before it, with such abundance that there is not enough room to hold it all. God is not sending provision, He is sending periseo, overflow provision, the kind that does not just fill the gap, but floods the entire landscape of your life. And the reason it was delayed was never cruelty. It was calibration. The overflow had to wait until your identity could hold it, until your mind could perceive it, until your spirit was ready to steward something that large without breaking under the weight of it. This is the convergence. Revelation 1 showed you the delay was building capacity. Revelation 2 showed you God was storing a treasury in secret. Revelation 3 showed you that your identity had to expand before the provision could land. And now, right now, the capacity is built, the treasury is full, the identity has expanded, and the final piece, the last thing standing between you and the flood, is the frequency of your mind. The river I have been telling you about this entire time. The sound you are about to hear in your spirit is not thunder, it is the dam breaking, and the river is wider than anything you ever imagined. And I hear the King of Kings speaking directly over your finances in this moment. What I prepared for you cannot be stolen. What I stored for you cannot be diminished. And what I am releasing right now will overflow every container you set before me. Do not shrink your expectations to match your history. Expand them to match my character. I am not matching your prayers. I am exceeding them. Periseo. Now, I need to give you the most practical truth in this entire message, because everything I have shared, every revelation, every reframe, every truth, it all converges on one simple fact. Your brain has a frequency at which it receives, not thinks, not works, receives. Every child is born operating in gamma frequency. That is why children learn without effort, see solutions instantly, and receive gifts without a shred of guilt or suspicion. There is no filter. There is no voice saying this is too good. The channel is wide open. But as I told you earlier, the world begins to close that channel around age 7. Education, stress, survival pressure, trauma, all of it pushes the brain into lower frequencies where the primary function is not receiving, it is defending. And by adulthood, most people are locked in chronic survival frequency, where the brain systematically filters out the very opportunities connections, and provision that God has placed directly in their path. This is the missing piece. God can reroute provision all day long, but if your brain is locked in survival mode, you literally cannot see the doors opening around you. The provision is there. The doors are open, but your brain is making them invisible. Remember when I mentioned Dr. Robert Lake earlier? The neuroscientist who spent 34 years studying how the brain operates at different frequencies. What he discovered is the bridge between everything I have taught you and something you can actually do about it. His research showed that the decline effect, the process that shut down your gamma frequency over the years, can be reversed. Not through years of meditation, not through willpower, not through expensive biofeedback equipment that costs $7,000, but through a specific technology called brain entrainment, a method that does not ask your brain to change from the inside, but directly shifts your frequency from the outside. You are not an ordinary person looking for a brain upgrade. You are a chosen one whose gamma frequency was naturally stronger than average from the day you were born. That is why you always felt things deeper than the people around you. That is why you learned faster as a child. That is why you carried intuitions that others could not explain. And when the decline effect suppressed your gamma, you felt the loss more than anyone. The distance between who you were and who you have been forced to be. That distance is the gamma gap, and it can be closed. Let me tell you about a man, 51 years old. He had been unemployed for nearly 2 years. Not because he was not qualified, because his brain was trapped in fog. He described walking into job interviews and feeling like his thoughts were moving through mud. The words would not come. The sharpness was gone. The man he used to be had disappeared somewhere beneath layers of stress and survival frequency. 11 days after he began this specific brain restoration process, he received his first offer in almost 2 years. And it was not just any offer. The position was better than the one he had lost. He told me that the change was not in his resume, because the resume was exactly the same. The change was in his head. Some who started with this same step went on to explore what the community calls neuroactive and other deeper protocols. But everything began with this single shift in frequency. Here is what Dr. Robert Lake created. He compressed 34 years of brain frequency research into a single 7-minute audio track. You put on headphones, you close your eyes, you listen for 7 minutes, and the technology goes to work on your brain directly, guiding your neural patterns out of survival mode and into gamma, the frequency of genius, intuition, and divine reception. He calls it the genius song. Now I know some of you are thinking, I have tried things before. Meditation, frequencies, sound healing, and nothing changed. I understand that. And I respect your skepticism because it means you are smart and you have been disappointed before. But this is fundamentally different. Those other methods ask your brain to change itself from the inside. That is slow. That is uncertain. Brain entrainment works from the outside in. It is measurable, it is repeatable, and it has been documented in laboratories across the world. Over 18,000 people have already experienced this. And I would never disrespect your financial situation. Not in a message about provision. $39 is a real decision for many of the people listening to this right now, which is exactly why you need to hear this. Traditional biofeedback therapy costs $300 per hour. Home neurofeedback equipment runs around $7,000. Dr. Lake took everything those systems do and compressed it into a 7-minute audio file. The standard price is $49. But for those who find this through messages like the one you are hearing right now, he made it available for $39, not as a promotion, as a mission. because he wants this technology in the hands of people who genuinely need it, not just people who can easily afford it. Along with the audio track, you receive 4 additional tools at no extra cost. The first is Genius Child, an audio designed to help young people in your family reactivate the focus and confidence that the education system has been dimming. The second is the original wealth mindset book that inspired the film The Secret, a book that sells for $20 on its own. The third is a guided visualization that walks you through your ideal future in 4 areas: finances, love, health, and purpose. And the fourth is a printed infographic of 5 essential habits for the new season you are entering. All of this is included, and if after using it you feel nothing, if the shift does not happen, you receive your money back. Complete guarantee. No conditions, no questions. The only risk, chosen one, is walking away without trying. Every day your gamma remains dormant is a day that provision circles you without landing. Every decision made in survival frequency costs more than it should. Every prayer prayed from a foggy mind takes longer to find its way through. But consider this. The version of you who has already activated, the one operating in gamma, perceiving doors that were invisible an hour ago, that version of you is looking back at this moment as the turning point. The decision does not need to be perfect, it just needs to be made, and it starts with 7 minutes. One thing I must tell you, there are counterfeit versions of this technology appearing on various websites, files that carry the name, but none of the actual brain entrainment technology embedded in the audio. They are ordinary sound files, dressed up to look real. The only way to receive the authentic version with the full technology, the 4 bonuses, and the money-back guarantee is through the link in the description and the pinned comment below this message. Do not search for it on Amazon. Do not look for it on Spotify or anywhere else. The only verified source is the link I have placed for you directly below. If your spirit resonates with this, if you feel led to take this step, the information is waiting for you in the description and the pinned comment. Only if your spirit confirms. Let me tell you one more story before we move forward. I will not say his name. 9 months ago, this man was facing total financial collapse. A major contract that represented nearly all of his income was cancelled without any warning. He had a wife. He had children. He had mortgage payments that did not care about his circumstances. For 4 months, he did something that everyone around him questioned. He went completely quiet. He stopped chasing. He stopped forcing. He called it strategic silence. He aligned his frequency. He declared his identity every single morning before the sun came up. He treated those 4 months not as unemployment, but as reassignment. On the 4th month, a company he had never heard of, a company that had no reason to know his name, contacted him out of nowhere. They offered him a contract worth 3 times what he had lost. 3 times. He told me something I will never forget. He said the money was not new. It had been rerouted. I just had to become the person who could receive it. He proved himself in silence before he promoted himself in public. If you are ready for what God has stored to finally land in your life, if you are ready to expand every container you own, type "I am ready" in the comments right now. Say it like you mean it. Say it with the full weight of everything you have walked through to reach this moment. Now take a deep breath. The teaching is complete. The 3 revelations have been delivered. But there is one more thing, and it is the most important part of this entire message. Because what I am about to do is not information, it is not teaching, it is activation. And it is the reason this message was placed in front of you today. Let me bring it all together. The delay was preparation, building in you a capacity that comfort could never create. The silence was accumulation, God siphoning your provision in a hidden vault where no enemy could touch it. Your identity has been expanding throughout this entire message, breaking free from the old belief that you were not worthy of overflow, and your brain frequency is being restored to the gamma state where receiving becomes as natural as breathing. Right now, the rerouting is complete, provision is arriving, not eventually, not next year, now. But before we enter the closing activation, I want to give you one final tool, something you can carry with you into the days ahead. I call this the rerouting recognition check. In the coming days, watch for these 4 confirmations. The first is unexpected contact, someone you have not heard from in a long time reaching out. A name appearing in your inbox or your messages that catches you off guard. This is not random. This is a connection being repositioned for your next season. The second is fully formed ideas, not vague wishes, clear, detailed, actionable ideas that arrive in your mind with a weight that ordinary thoughts do not carry. These are provision blueprints being downloaded into your spirit. The third is doors you did not knock on that begin to open, opportunities that find you, invitations that arrive without applications, conversations that lead somewhere you never planned to go. This is the river finding new channels. And the fourth is a number in your account or a resource in your hands that was not there yesterday. It might be small at first. Do not dismiss it. The first drop is always small. But it tells you something enormous. The flood is right behind it. When you see even one of these signs, you will know the rerouting has reached you. Now, wherever you are right now, I want you to do something with me. If you can, let your hands rest open in your lap or at your sides, palms facing upward. If you are driving, simply soften your grip on the wheel and let your spirit open while your hands stay steady. In your mind, I want you to see yourself standing at the edge of a vast, dry landscape. This is every empty month, every unpaid bill, every prayer that seemed to echo back unanswered. This is the desert of your financial life, and you have been standing here for a long, long time. Now look down at the ground beneath your feet. Something is happening. The dry earth is cracking, not from heat, from pressure underneath. Light is breaking through the fractures, and water, clean and powerful and relentless, is rising from below the surface. This is the river, your river, the one that has been flowing underground this entire time. It has finally found you. Feel the cool water reach your ankles. Feel the current pull gently at the dust of everything you carried, the shame of every empty account, the exhaustion of every stretched dollar, the loneliness of every silent prayer. Let the water carry it. Let the river take what was never yours to hold. This is not an exercise. This is you witnessing in your spirit what God is doing in the unseen realm right now. This river is real, and it is yours. Now I am going to speak over your life. This is not a regular prayer. This is a declaration, an activation, a sealing of everything that has been revealed, stored, and prepared for you. I begin with gratitude. Father, we thank you for what this chosen one has walked through to reach this moment. We thank you for the kitchen tables and the late nights and the phone screens that showed numbers that did not match the faith in their heart. We thank you for every month of Tsafan, every secret deposit, every hidden act of provision that they could not see but you were faithfully building. We thank you for the river that never stopped flowing, even when the ground above it was dry and cracked and looked like nothing was happening. It was always happening, and we are grateful. I acknowledge what heaven sees. The Most High sees every dollar you stretched further than it should have gone. He sees every time you said, "I am fine," when the truth was too heavy to share with anyone around you. He sees the faith it cost you to keep giving when your own hands were empty. He sees the strength it took to keep believing when every piece of evidence in the physical world pointed the other direction. You were seen in every quiet moment. You were never invisible. And now it is time to release. Release the belief that you are not worthy of what God has stored. Release the shame of every financial failure that still echoes in the back of your mind when you try to dream bigger. Release the comparison to every person who seemed to have it easier, who seemed to receive without the weight you endured. Release the fear that when provision finally arrives, something will come along and take it away before you can hold it. Release the old identity that could not hold overflow because it was taught to be grateful for scraps. Release the guilt that whispers you are selfish for wanting more than just enough. Release the timeline you created in your mind for when this should have happened, the timeline that was never yours to set. Release the survival frequency that kept your brain in fog while doors were opening all around you that you could not see. Now, we activate. We do not beg. We activate what has been prepared. We activate the provision that has been stored in the hidden vault of Tsafan. We activate all three channels: direct, opportunity, and protection, all three flowing wide open into this life. We activate the gamma frequency in this mind, the frequency of receiving, perceiving, and creating, the frequency that was always yours and is now being restored. We activate divine connections that carry financial breakthrough into places this chosen one has never been. We activate doors that have not been built yet, provision from sources that do not currently exist, but will be created by the hand of God specifically for this assignment. We protect. Cover this provision from premature exposure. Guard the overflow from the hands that would exploit generosity. Shield the stewardship that is being entrusted to this chosen one in this new season, and let nothing that is not ordained by heaven get close enough to contaminate it. And now, the declaration. I am not someone who waits for scraps from a table I was invited to sit at. I am someone whose overflow has been stored by the King of Kings himself. I am not someone who fears abundance. I am someone whose identity was built in the wilderness to carry exactly this weight. I am not overlooked. I am strategically positioned. I am not behind. I am precisely on time. I am the builder. I am the pioneer. I am the hope restorer. I am the one whose provision does not just change my own life, but changes the world around me. And I am a chosen one whose river has broken through the surface, and it will never go underground again. The river has found you. Let it flow. Let it overflow. Let it reach every dry place in your life, every cracked corner, every neglected dream, every relationship that suffered under the weight of not enough. Let the periseo do what it was always meant to do. Do not say amen yet. Sit in this frequency for a moment. Let the weight of provision settle into your bones. Let the old identity dissolve like salt in water. Let the new one take root. Feel the ground beneath you, solid now, full now. The desert is over, and you are standing at the center of a river that has your name written into its current. It is done. It is stored no longer. It is released. It is sealed over your life, your finances, your family, and your future. There are doors beyond this moment, things that some have called destiny's embrace, pathways that lead further than today can show you. But that is for another season. Today, this activation is enough. Today, this river is enough. In the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. One more thing before you go. The river I described, it is not only for you. Your overflow was designed with a purpose larger than your own household. It is meant to reach others. The provision arriving in your life is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of a mission. You are not the person you were when you pressed play on this message, the one who doubted their worth, the one who carried shame about empty accounts, the one who whispered to God at 3 in the morning wondering if heaven could hear. That version of you has been released. You are the one who receives now. If this message brought peace where there was panic, if it brought clarity where there was confusion, if it brought confirmation to something you have been feeling for months but could not name, let your like be your amen, without words. If this message found you at exactly the right moment, there are more words being prepared for your next season, more revelations that have not yet been spoken. Stay connected to this space so they can find you when the time is right. For those who felt called to what I shared about restoring your brain's receiving frequency, about reclaiming the gamma state that was always yours, the link is in the description and the pinned comment, only if your spirit confirms. And now, before you go, I want you to think about someone. If a face came to your mind at any point during this message, someone who has been unusually quiet about their finances lately, someone who smiles in every room they walk into, but you know something deeper is happening behind that smile. Someone who has been faithfully giving and serving while secretly wondering when it is going to be their turn. Someone who needs to know that their river has been flowing underground this entire time and the dam is about to break. Send this to them. Text it, share it, however you need to. Because your share might be the exact moment their dam breaks, and you will have been the one who carried the water to their desert. You are not alone in this. Right now, all across the world, chosen ones are experiencing this same shift, the same rerouting, the same activation. The river is rising everywhere, and you are part of it. Go in peace, go in provision, go in overflow. Your season has changed. You are not leaving a message. You are leaving a season of lack, and you are stepping, right now, into the season of Periseo, overflow beyond anything you asked or imagined.